You've been waiting for a comprehensive update from the commish. There's been outrage on the message boards by one Christian Scalone, and everybody else has weighed in, even the artist. But let's get into it. We're going to have my first real comprehensive preview here, so you have to strap in for a long update. It's probably going to be a long update. First of all, I want to get to last week's games. And I want to send a big heartfelt sort of shout out to none other than the part-time hand models. Unfortunately, the guy scores 150 points last week. Would have beaten anybody and everybody in the league except for one Mike Kerner, who had 6 touchdown passes from Aaron Rodgers and a little bit of an outburst, just enough from Antonio Gates as well. That Kerner gets the win at 170.5 to 150. 150 points Tyler finally scored. Can't believe it. It's really sad. Quasi-sad. So he's 0-6. He's still winless. But to be honest, he needs to not lose hope. If anything, he can learn from the acts of John Buscemi and the Night Moves, the Pride Snatchers. Both teams are over 500 or at 500. I mean, the Night Moves themselves are 5-1, and it's a rookie situation. You know, you come into this league, sometimes you don't have good luck. Anybody can tell you that. So just going through last week's scoreboard, you know, the really shitty game was Sandusky's Cuddle Bear putting up 65 points, which is the weakest output by far of any team. I shouldn't say that by far, because Rockout with my NHL lockout only scored 79 points against Aubrey's team. Aubrey's looking good at 5-1. I mean, she looked good in other ways, but I'm obviously biased in that department. But a little battle of mediocrity at 3-3 teams now. They've come out as the Pride Snatchers moves to 500 with a win over the Wolfpack. Loins of an Eagle, we've covered that with his fourth win of the season. The Wet Bandits get a win. I don't want to talk too much about my team, so I'll talk badly about James' team. Great job with Andy Dalton after I traded him your way. Sorry he couldn't produce further, Mr. Lee. So that kind of wraps up. I touched on Night Moves winning over the Artist and going to 5-1. So that kind of wraps up last week. But what I kind of wanted to cover this week, specifically because we're on our way to game number 7, which it's a 13-game regular season. So what I thought I'd do is something new here on the update, and that would be the mid-season awards. So we'll start with the mid-season awards. First of all, some of them are awards, some are just sort of observations, and you're free to kind of draw your own or send in your videos, all things that you've said on that thread where Scalone lost his shit. But I still haven't gotten videos, obviously, from anybody. So thanks for that. First, we're going to go with the weakest division. And judging by the division names themselves, I can only imagine that Kavina Hughes had to be like the easiest girl of all time. Scalone, maybe you could weigh in with a little insight into just how easy it was, or if you actually went all the way with her or what. Probably not, but we're just going to assume you did, because Kavina Hughes' division, no one in Kavina Hughes' division is above 500. Everybody's on a losing streak, whether that's 1 or 2 games. So halfway through the year, I'm going to say the weakest division is Kavina Hughes by far. Now, the strongest division, and this is again a no-brainer, and Shannon Culpepper must have been a stone-cold fox that Scalone only must have said hi to in the hallway or something in grade school. I don't know the backstory. Because in the Shannon Culpepper division, every team is at 500 or better. 3 of the 4 teams in the division have at least 4 or 5 wins. So we got Aubrey at 5-1. Then you have Loins of an Eagle and Kerner at 4-2. Paul Giamatti is my father at 4-2, and Nightdale Wolfpack at 3-3. Some would say a pretty stacked division. The Trash Talker of the Year. That's got to be it's almost a Trash Talker and Comeback Player of the Year award sort of thing. But I'm going to go with Trash Talker because that's where he's made his money this year. And that's got to be Buscemi. Buscemi, been watching the league. He's been bringing it. I don't know if he's writing his own material. Not really sure. The guy writes his own songs, so I gotta assume that's somewhere on the docket that he's got the creativity for this stuff. But he's bringing it on the message boards. Very happy about that. Speaking of writing a song, I think he should probably put something together for the league. That'd be pretty fun. And speaking of doing stuff for the league, artists still want that commissioned photo of us, all of us looking like the Avengers. That would be really nice, having superpowers and whatnot. Trash Talk of the Year, Buscemi. Congratulations with the night moves. You win that. The Rookie of the Half Year has to be Tyler. This guy's made multiple trades, and the fact remains is that he is the only rookie of the league. So, but in all honesty here, the dude has made moves. He's tried to make his team better. He's tried so hard to pick up the right players, move things around. The guy's been active on the message. He's soaking it all in. This is his first league experience. Although he's winless halfway through the year, I think that, you never know. You run the table, you go 7-6. I think Scalone did that one year. Went 7-6 and snuck in, or I did it. So, I forget. But someone snuck in at 7-6, or just ran the table with like 6 or 7 wins at the end of the year. They didn't win it all, but I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible, Tyler. So I want to give the another award, the draft winner, and by draft winner I want to say who in retrospect now halfway through the year had the best draft. And although he's only at 3-3 right now, the best drafter has to be B. Hart with the Nightdale Wolfpack. If you look at his roster, he has the number 1 running back. He has the number 1 tight end, and Tony Gonzalez. Who knew that was even going to happen? The running back obviously is Arian Foster because he got the number 1 pick. So it's easy to have the number 1 draft if you have the number 1 pick, but to be fair, he's gotten the number 1 tight end in Tony Gonzalez, number 1 defense in the Bears. He's gotten the number 4 QB in Peyton Manning, and that was before his stats last night. So after last night, he may have gone up the board. I'm gonna have to check the listings here, and by last night I mean Monday night, because of all my days are running together because I'm traveling for work like a fool. But B. Hart wins the draft, the most valuable drafter, I guess you could say. I think when it comes down to the MVM, which is the mid-season MVP, or mid-season most valuable manager, halfway through the year, it's early, and I know that we have 2 5-1 teams right now, but I have to give it to a team that is streaking with 5 wins. And these are 5 decisive victories at, 880 points, leading the league in point values. I've got to go with the Bayside Tigers. Is she the most beautiful person in the league? Probably. But that does not factor into it. It's what she's doing on the field. And when you look at her team, I mean, she's really put together a pretty nice roster. Unsung heroes, sort of workman-like folks like Eli Manning, AJ Green, Reggie Wayne, people that aren't flashy players. Owen Daniels, these aren't flashy sort of players. and she's done it despite some people that, let's be honest, Chris Johnson has been like just desperate this year. He's been terrible. Like Maurice Jones-Drew has been okay at best. So I mean, with someone who's featuring two backs like that, to come out the way that she's come out and led the league in points, really, I mean, it's the year is young right now. We're halfway through, but I'm telling you, I think that she's done well. She's done well with the tools that she has, and I think that she deserves that midseason MVP. Now, Night Moves, I know you're gonna be outraged with this because you're at 9-1 as well, and Matt Ryan has done numerous things for you. Jordy Nelson on Sunday night with 3 TDs. Also, great work. But I really think Aubrey got it done so far. It's a young sort of time right now in the league. If we actually go to the projected playoff bracket right now, if the season ended today, Night Moves and the Bayside Tigers would have those first round byes in the 16 playoff format. The 3 seed would be the Philly Convicts. At the 4 seed, we would have Loins of an Eagle. 5 would be Paul Giamatti, my father, trying to defend his title. This is all hypothetical. And then 6 in the last spot would have been the Nightingale Wolfpack. But it's really young here. On the outside looking in, we'd have Zip Zap Rap at 7 and the Pride Snatchers at 8. So obviously 11 and 12 would be myself, the Wet Bandits, and the Part-Time Hand Models, which we've all slammed my team pretty good because it hasn't really produced. But yeah, I think we've had a really good start to the season here. One thing I do want to touch on is a game of the week for next week. And with the update going on 10 minutes now, I'm sure you're still watching. I want to highlight the game of the week. I know it's really tempting, like tremendously tempting next week to pick a game that matches up with essentially the 2 best teams in the league at 5-1. And in any other circumstance, I think it'd be the game of the week. Instead, it's the second game of the week, or the lesser important game of the week. But it's definitely going to be a battle of the Titans between those two. And unfortunately, Night Moves with the bye week for Matt Ryan, he's got to go with Joe Flacco. So we'll see if that can happen. Now that might be part of the reason why I'm going here, but I think just based on history, what I'm dubbing now as the Bro Bowl. These two guys, obviously in a heavy bromance that's going to be coming to a close when Mike gets married. But again, who can forget these two right here going back and forth, exchanging blows with fists of Larry and, what was it? Johnson's Chad and Larry. Remember that was... Man, both those guys aren't even in the league anymore. How crazy is that? Don't we feel old right now? Anyway, these two, the Bro Bowl 2012, it's going to be these two guys going off against each other. And I'm going to say right now, it's going to be a pretty terrible game if for some reason Thompson can't put in his Packers defense or find a kicker not on a bye. So we'll see if he wants to dedicate some time to the Bro Bowl and winning that. Good luck to both of you there. Of course, Mike, you get the award for player that I have no idea whose name it is that you probably read on some message board as Jalik Bell from Detroit. Good for you. Great job. That's about it. Again, much longer and comprehensive than you probably have time to watch. Which is probably why I've been trying to keep it short. But, hey, enjoy it, because it was an update.